Okay, in this video, we're going to cover some of the do's and don'ts when you're going about trying to talking to clients and going about getting sales. So the first part, we're going to talk about some of the things you should be doing, and then we're going to get into some of the things you definitely should not be doing. So some of the things we should be doing is try to use the word invest instead of cost. So if a client's like, well, how much does this cost? Well, for a one-time investment of only $497, which is less than half a new client to you, we can get you set up, get you much more exposure, and hopefully get you some new clients. You should always also think about discounting bulk service orders. So for example, they want to Google Places but they don't have a website. Well, you can offer that website at a discounted amount off the $497 like I showed in one of the previous videos. Another thing you should be doing is you always can guarantee a first page listing, because that's what this service is for. It's a guaranteed spot in one of the top 7 spots that are available on the first page for the Google Places, and I showed that in a previous video as well. And then you always should be looking to charge more for the service if the market will allow. And the example I used in one of the previous videos, we're talking about if you're talking to a barber who's only getting, let's say, $15 to $20 for each client, as opposed to a lawyer who may be getting several $1,000s over there, the market will allow you to offer these services for a higher price, and then obviously paying you more in commissions. If the market allows it, then you should be able to go after that and charge a higher price than the minimum amount of $497 there. Some more things that you should be doing: always use questions when you're talking to the client there. So for example, do you think if 100 people called you, you'd get more business? Or there's 1,000 people searching for your services each and every month. If you were on the first page, do you think that would bring you more customers? What would you do with 5 or 10 or 20 new clients each and every month? So you get them thinking. You're not guaranteeing that they're going to get those kind of clients, but you get them thinking of what would this bring and what would those new clients mean to him and his business. Always sell the benefits. So you always want to try to talk about the benefits of more exposure, more clients, hopefully more business. You don't want to be talking about, well, you get more rankings and more search engines and backlinks. We don't really want to talk about that because business owners don't care. What they care about is results. Will this bring me more business? Yes or no? Okay. And then always compare the fees to the client value. So again, we want to talk about you want to be talking about in this form, how much is this? It kind of relates to the first point that we talked about, cost versus investment. Well, you want to compare, well, this cost here is compared to how much is it worth to you for a new client. So if we did this today and only got you one new client over the course of the whole year, you'd still be better off. Kind of something like that. And the bottom one I added over here was always ask for referrals, because once you have a satisfied client, or someone that's actually done business with you, you should always ask them if they know any other business owners, family members, or anyone that they know that has a business and could benefit from these types of services, because this will basically open up some more warm calls. It's a lot easier to call someone up and say, oh, I spoke with, we're doing some work for your friend Joe over here, and he suggested I give you a call because he thinks you could benefit from our services. So definitely always ask for referrals if they know anyone there, and it just opens up. Once you get going and start getting new clients, stuff like that, you're going to start seeing that the referrals will start piling up, and they'll have a lot more people just calling you directly, and then you can close the sales from there. Now let's talk about some of the things you should never do, and I've talked about this one in the previous videos, but one of the things is you definitely do not want to guarantee a certain position. So you cannot guarantee them that they will have the A spot in the Google Places listing. Like I'd already mentioned, Google changes their algorithm all the time, and there's no way, since we don't own Google and know exactly what they're going to do, there's no way that we can actually guarantee that spot. So remember, we're guaranteeing a position, a first page listing, not a specific position for the client there. You can never guarantee them more business. Again, never say, because we can't control what their sales funnel is on the back end. We don't know how they're answering the calls, how they're communicating with the potential clients when they're actually calling them. Never say you're an employee. Okay, you're an independent marketing consultant that works for Optimum Net Solutions. So you're not going to say you're an employee, but you're an independent consultant for this company here. And you should never sell the details, which I just talked about there, where we're talking about, you don't want to get into, well, if you're ranked in search engines and backlinking and stuff like that. Again, clients don't care. Businesses don't care about that. They care about results. What is going to be the return if I use this form of advertising over some of the marketing that I'm using right now? Will it bring in better results and get me more clients? That's it for there. So that's it for this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.